Now this is to fake you out. Okay, f of x equals negative 2 times x minus 16 squared times x minus 1 squared. What's the domain?
All real numbers.
Why?
Because there's no radical.
No radical, no denominator. So domain of a polynomial, by the way, is always all real numbers. Let's go after the end behavior. So what's the power function? Well, it's negative 2. That's the leading coefficient. What's the highest power of x squared minus 16? X squared, because it's x squared minus 16 to the 1 power, right? X minus 1, the quantity squared, would be x squared. So this is negative 2 x to the 4th. That's the power function. So is it top, top, bottom, 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 top, top, bottom?
Bottom,
Bottom, bottom. Negative 2, a is negative, and it's even. A negative, even, that says it's going to be bottom, bottom. It's going to come in from the bottom, go out for the top. Next thing we want to find is the x-intercepts. This is where negative 2 times x squared minus 16 times x minus 1 squared equals 0. So what are my zeros?
Negative 1 and 4.
No.
Well, why not? Well, 4 squared is 16. Oh, it's plus or minus 4.
Plus or minus 4. Because this is really negative 2. This is the difference of squares, x minus 4, x plus 4, and x minus 1 squared. So the zeros are 4, negative 4, and 1. What's the multiplicity of 4? 1. Does it touch or cross? Cross. What's the shape? Line. And the x-intercept would be x equals 4, y equals 0. Negative 4. Multiplicity is 1. Touch or cross. Shape. Line. And so it's negative 4, 0. What's the multiplicity of 1? 2. Touch or cross. Touch. What would be the shape? Parabola. And the x-intercept would be 1, 0. Y-intercept is negative 2 times 0 squared minus 16 times 0 minus 1 squared, which is negative 2 times negative 16 times negative 1 squared is just 1. It's positive 32, so it's 0, 32. I'm going to ignore him, and the reason for that is I don't know how big the humps are, but he does have that. And if I were actually having a big enough piece of graph paper or scale my paper, I'd include him, but I know he does cross the x-axis someplace. Okay, so now we're going to graph him. With that information, we're going to graph. The x-intercepts are negative 4, positive 4, positive 1. Positive 4 is a line, negative 4 is a line, and positive 1 is a parabola. Now I'm going to ignore the y values. So what do I know? It is bottom, bottom. So L, line, is going to come up from the bottom, cross like a line, and then it's going to come down to here, which means it's got to turn. And then it hits this guy and acts like a parabola, so he bounces off the axis. And then he's going to have to come back up and turn and go back out like a line. And that's approximately what he looks like. I don't know how high he goes. he goes pretty high because of it is a vertical stretch factor of 2. So now we take a look. X-intercept. Notice, by x-intercept, -4, 1, 4. Y is negative, the graph crosses, y is positive. The graph touches, what happens to y?
Nothing.
Stays
Positive.
positive. Graph crosses, goes to negative. So if I want to know now, where is y positive, where is y negative, it's all around the x-intercepts. So it would be minus infinity to -4. Whoops.
That would
Yeah.
be -4.
This would be this guy. Minus infinity to -4. Then it crosses, y goes positive. Now it's not equal to, so it does not include 1. So it's going to be -4 to +1. Because the graph touches, it will be +1 to +4, positive, positive. Then the graph crosses, I'm going to move back to negative from 4 to infinity. Now, if it included, and it was greater than or equal to 0, then I could have gone from -4 to +4. But because it doesn't include that, so then what I'm looking at, and when I look at this as a number line, I'd have -4, the graph crosses. I'd have +1, the graph touches. I have +4, the graph crosses. I just need to know that the graph y values are negative here. The graph crosses, the y values remain positive. The graph touches, the y values remain positive. The graph crosses, the y values go to negative. And this gives me my answer on the number line. This would be minus infinity to -4. This would be -4 to +1. This would be +1 to 4. This would be 4 infinity. So it's negative, positive, positive, negative.
With the C's, with the circles under the C, you filled in.
And the C, yeah, if it included, they would be filled in, because it doesn't include their open circles.
What's the symbol above the 1?
I don't understand. T, touch.
Oh,
Remember the graph touches?
yeah, but there's
Cross, touch, cross.
yeah. it just-
Cross, touch, cross. So y values don't change where the graph touches.